Hi and welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the unceded land where this conversation takes place, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. It's been a few years since I last saw Punit, back when Elichi was still open in Black Rock and the world and hospitality felt very different. In the time since, he's lived what feels like several careers worth of experience, closing a restaurant, cooking through lockdown with his family, stepping into senior hotel roles, winning AHA Chef of the Year last year, and quietly building the foundations for something deeply personal. That something is Bombay Meri Jaan, Punit's Richmond restaurant in love letter to Mumbai. Not the shorthand version of Indian food most of us think we know, but a layered, regional, memory-driven expression of Western Indian cooking shaped by coastal spices, street snacks, family recipes, and the rhythms of a city that never stops moving. In this conversation, Punit talks about slowing down, learning when to step back, and what it means to cook food that actually reflects who you are. We cover hotel kitchens and home cooking, leadership and letting go, buttered chicken, of course, and why some of the most important dishes are the ones tied to trains, fishermen, and late-night streets. So nice to see you again, and we've just been reminiscing that it's been a few years since I last saw you in Black Rock, and it sounds like you've lived a lifetime in those 5 years.
things have taken 360-degree turn for me, Jo.
Yeah.
Like last time when we met at Elichi in Black Rock, things were very different. I was like a go-gum, wanted to do this, wanted to do that, wanted to do everything. But then after that, what good thing happened to me, I sort of had a good 360-degree view of my career and of my life, where I'm going, what I'm heading, what I really want to achieve, what sort of food matches my identity. What sort of food am I doing? Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it good? Is this good on papers or is it good? So different perspectives have kicked in.
And it was quite fine dining, if I remember.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So we used to do a little bit more refined food over there, I would say. We would be like sort of getting into more native / Indian.
That's right.
Sort of thing, and we wanted to do that, and it was absolutely good because everyone loves to work with native ingredients, and and especially when you start to pioneer that sort of stuff into different cuisines, and you start to blend all that kind of products into your cuisine, it gives you a different result altogether. So yeah, and then
how long were you there?
We were there for almost 3.5 years.
Oh, that's good. That's
a
good time, an era.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely good times. We had really good times. We had few regulars. I managed to sort of get in touch with few of my regular customers, and they always asked me to come and do always specials here and there at their private events and functions and stuff like that. But that was it. Nothing more than that. But yeah, it was been really good, really good.
And did you finish that all up pre-COVID, or was it COVID that made you finish?
That was COVID what made us finish.
Yeah.
So we were like sort of getting our head wrapped up, like understanding what to do, how to do, and government were just started to roll out the new rules and stuff like that, and how it would affect hospitality. Yeah. And in just mid of that, we decided, hey, look, what, it's not going to work out for us. So we sort of made all fair and square decision to walk away from that business and sort of start to we were 3 business partners, and then we decided to go all our own path, and then started to live our lives the way we want to live.
Yeah, and it sounds as though you had a bit of a break over that lockdown period and just did some cooking at home.
Oh, absolutely. I guess that was the best time of my life.
Yeah.
I was like, every time my kids and my wife would bug me saying, oh, do something or do this or do that, and I was like, man, I can't be bothered. But then during COVID, oh my God, like, from your garlic breads, your focaccias, your cookies, and all, you name it, and we used to do it. And I used to tell my daughter, I said, oh, what's on the menu today, And she would get really excited, and she's like, "Oh, Dad, let's make this, tomato focaccia bread with some cheese." I was like, "Oh, wow, amazing! Let's do that."
Yeah.
So it was absolutely fun. Me, my daughter, my son, we all had a good ball. Cooking, baking, and doing this. And my wife absolutely loved it. She was like, she would come home and all the chores would be done.
I know the dream.
Yeah.
Unusual when you're living with a chef.
Exactly. So yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, why don't you just become a house husband?" I said, "Well, look, I would love to." So it was really good, really good times.
Yeah, and then obviously you felt the pull to go back to the kitchen though.
Look, after 6-8 months, it started to feel a bit itchy, and you're like, okay, look, I think it always feels that, okay, well, once the vacation is finished, you always feel like, oh, I want to go back to work, I want to do this, I want to do that. You sort of refresh your mind. And this is exactly what happened to me. My mind sort of got refreshed, and I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go back. But there were no jobs. It was absolutely dead. The market was dead. Like, Seek would get absolutely cluttered with the jobs, but then you jump on Seek and you'll just find like 3 jobs or 4 jobs out there.
Yeah.
And all the chefs are either sitting home or doing this, or doing all the odd jobs to make end meets. But I guess for me, I was just sort of taking it easy, and then I was waiting for a right opportunity, which happened to be W Melbourne. Amazing chef I worked with, Chef Ji-hoon, who came from W Dubai. Adam De Silva was a consulting chef, absolutely brilliant team over there. And I would say all the chefs who were on board, we got to pick the best of the best because they all were at home. They had no jobs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow. And so that was the launch of that hotel and
Correct.
all the restaurants.
Correct.
So were you saying there were 8 venues in...
6 venues.
6 venues, yeah,
yes,
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
So one was Warabi, which is a specialty Japanese restaurant. Second was Lolo, which was all-day dining restaurant, followed by was a cafe just next to the restaurant called Culprit. And then we had room service, banquets, pool deck, which was upstairs. And then there was a hidden sort of underground bar called Curious. So yeah, it was a lot of work to do over there.
Yeah, and you'd worked in hotels before.
I have kind of I've done a bit of both. I've worked from all the way from restaurants to hotels. Eventually I started in hotels and then sort of moved my way into restaurants, where you sort of get to learn more, get to explore more. I believe restaurants are like a raw battlefield. You get to learn a lot of things over there.
Yeah.
There are no boundaries over there. You don't go, oh, okay, you got to follow this, you got to follow that. A guy would just a farmer or your veggie supply would just walk in with a box of artichoke, and chef would go, oh, guys, what are we going to do with this? And everyone would just jump on and say, oh, can we do this or can we do that? So it's not it's very straightforward. There are no hidden agendas behind all this kind of thing. So I love that atmosphere. I loved it actually. Everyone was so energetic, so young. You just want to be yourself out there. You just want to prove yourself, So that atmosphere was really good. I loved restaurant atmosphere. During my time at Rockpool as well, Yeah, it was amazing. The crew was absolutely brilliant. You get to learn from the best. Someone is traveling, someone has worked in this restaurant, that restaurant. He has done this, he has done that, and you just sort of absorb over there everything pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're executive chef there, is it?
No, I was at Rockpool. I was chef de partie.
Yeah, but at W.
At W, I was exec sous.
Yeah, exec sous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I guess you have to be thinking about lots of, well, you already were doing that with your own business, but numbers and it must be so different in a big hotel though to be. So exec sous, what is your role? What was your job description? So
basically what happens is I kind of be like a 2IC to an executive chef.
Yeah.
And I'm more involved in operations than the numbers. Because exec chef is so busy with liaising with other stakeholders.
Okay.
So he would go, say for example, the marketing team would come and talk to executive chef and say, hey, look, I want this event, what can we do? So he's busy planning days. Whereas my job is taking care of operations. Like say if someone calling sick, it's not his job, it's my job to make sure the shift is filled in, this is there. you fill up all those gaps and make sure the operation is smooth for the day. So, and then I am sort of barrier between executive chef and my team, you know. Before anything goes to him, it comes to me, and then I just filter information to him, and I just tell him, hey, look, this is what the day looks like, this is what we're heading, this much are the booking, this is a VIP. And from then on, therefore, he takes the decision that how are we going to shape it, how are we going to do it.
Wow. Across all those restaurants and room service, that's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, you need someone who is super experienced, you know, who knows what is he doing, and, you know, and considering the demand and the market here in Australia, you know, you at that role, at that position, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know your job in and out, you know. So it's quite a huge job.
And that was when Melbourne was coming out of lockdown and COVID. So you had added challenges too of
Correct.
People, you know, were there people coming in, people's expectations, all of that?
Exactly. And the thing was, you know, I think it was kind of blessing in disguise, you would say. It's just because Melbourne is in lockdown and there's nothing happening, there's no movement. And all of a sudden there's this news in media, or W Melbourne is opening up, and people are so looking forward for it. There was one stage we would have to stop people. We said, look, we can't sit you in anymore, that's it.
Wow. Yeah.
10:30 people are walking in. I was like, guys, we can't. I said, we are absolutely running out of produce. We don't have anything to serve for you. We have absolutely smashed it like 300 covers in like 70, 80 sitting restaurant. And then I said, we can't. I said, everyone is just tired. I said, it's not that, but we don't have anything for you to serve.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
Wow.
what are we going to serve? So it was really good. You know, the hotel picked up amazing. You know, it did very well. It was absolutely, you know, thriving.
Yeah.
And still is. I mean, you know, it still has a name, and it is still doing good. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. And how long were you there?
I was there almost for 2.5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what came next?
After that, I'm at the moment where I am. I was at Park Royal Monash, where, you know, again, you know, I was not again looking for an opportunity. I was happy where I am. But then, you know, industry tend to sort of poach people from here and there, and they sort of look for it. So my ex general manager, we were still in touch. We were saying, hey, what's going on? And, you know, as you know, you're always in touch with industry people. So he messaged me saying, hey, look, you know, my exec chef is leaving. What are your thoughts? I said, mate, look, you know, I would love to join you again, but it's a bit far for me. So I said, why don't you come in, just have a coffee together? And you know, when you join someone for a coffee, I said, that's it, he'll get you. So I went for a coffee, you know, I had a chat with him, and he had a pretty good offer for me. You know, he said to me, look, you know, it was a fair bit of travel. I traveled almost 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, because I live on the other side of the city. The hotel is on the other side of the city. So
where is Park Royal Monash?
In Clayton.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So who's that servicing? People doing like conferences and things?
Yeah, it's a business hotel. So there are a lot of big companies out there.
Right.
You know, they have Peter's Ice Creams are there, Bosch is there.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have their big head offices over there.
Okay.
And CSIRO is there. So there are good decent business out over there. But yeah, again, you know, this opportunity came out, and then they were like, okay, you know, we want to sort of change the direction of this restaurant. You know, it was sort of doing modern Asian, but now they wanted to shift to, you know, modern European, and wanted to do sort of, you know, Southern Italian, sort of bit of modern French, you know. So I said, well, look, you know, it's definitely right direction to go in, because that sort of pocket is missing that kind of sort of food.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, so now I've been there almost for 3 years, and, you know, the restaurant is doing amazing. You know, we're smashing out a few covers. You know, after 3 years, like, I mean, it was a similar. I just joined. I think the hotel was same open in COVID. It was pretty dead, and then, you know, they also came out from COVID, started to catch up on the business and doing their regular activities. But now, you know, this year hotel has done amazing. You know, they're thriving. The numbers are really good, and, you know, people started to get to know the market and, you know, what's happening. So it's been great.
So you're still there?
I'm still there.
Oh goodness.
Yes.
So you obviously don't sleep. So this is, you described, now I'll try and say it, but then you can correct me, Bombay Meri Jaan.
That's right. You're spot on.
So this is your brainchild? You've had the idea to open somewhere for a while.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So this has been like, you said, different ideas, different thoughts come in your mind.
Yeah.
But then eventually this was something I was like, oh, this is going to be really good. Because see, the thing is, Joe, when you talk about Indian food, it sort of falls into that one category. Everyone says, oh, the idea it replicates is like, oh, Indian food, butter chicken, Rogan Josh, these few dishes here and there, chicken tikka, but that's about it. But when I came out with this idea, and I was like, man, look, there's nothing wrong in that. There are heaps of good restaurants who are doing this amazing food. But then for me, it's very important, because if you see India on a map, it's a different pocket. It has a different pocket of different region, different cuisine. The spice level, the intensity level changes from everywhere you go. You go north, they sort of like it's like France. When you go to France, the northern part is a bit more colder, southern part is a bit more hotter. So they like to have their food. It's the same thing in India as well. The northern part is colder, southern part is hotter. More humid. They are very less. They go easy on spices, and then on the top side they are a bit more heavy on the spices. So the direction changes. So when we thought about doing Bombay Meri Jaan, what we wanted to do is we wanted to introduce something new in Melbourne. Which when India is like on the map now, like you say, butter chicken is there, paneer tikka masala is there, but then what's next? The question is, what's next? What's next to offer? What are we going to do next? So that's where Bombay Meri Jaan comes in. What we want to do is we want to get that. Now look, if you see, northern part has been introduced, southern part has been introduced, there's a restaurant called Toddy Shop. They started doing Kerala food over there, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Babaji in Belgrave, they are doing amazing food over there. So they have sort of introduced the southern part of food. Then there's a Kolkata Cricket Club, which they're introducing eastern part of the food.
Yeah.
So now what we are doing over here is we are doing western part of the food.
Great.
Yeah. So we bring a lot of food which has been unheard of. So one of the dishes I would say is which I really love. It is a lamb railway curry. So this dish has a little bit story behind it.
The railway lamb.
Yeah, the railway lamb curry.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So the dish, how it actually got its name, was what was happening is when East India Company had their headquarters in Kolkata. So all the sailors would come to Kolkata, and when they have to travel to Bombay, they would travel in a train. Yeah. So when they would travel, since they have done so much of traveling from the ship and this, so there was an instruction to the cooks that please don't cook heavy curries. Yeah. Make sure it's nice and easy and light, and have some potatoes into the curry so it's easy on their guts to digest. So this one of the British officers who was traveling on the train, he loved the curry so much, but he didn't knew the name. And then when he was traveling back again, he could not find the curry again. So what happened, fortunately or unfortunately, he boarded the same train again next time, and he found the curry. Oh. But he couldn't name it. He couldn't pronounce the name. And so he named it railway lamb curry.
Oh. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, and then there's another dish called goat zakuti. Zakuti is like another Goan dish, which is...
oh, yes.
Yes, it's down here. Yeah. Kolhapuri, mutton Kolhapuri, sorry.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's so goat.
It's Kolhapuri is another region in Maharashtra where they use a lot of dry red chilies. Everything is cooked into dry red chilies.
Okay.
Which are very less spicy, but very good in color.
Yeah.
So the taste and the flavors is amazing. So in that region, it's all about roasting and grinding. So they all dry roast the spices and they grind it, and then they do it from there.
I really love dal makhani, the black lentils.
Yeah.
I went to Rajasthan, so I went up the top, but we flew into Chennai and then we went to Mumbai.
Wow.
And I did a bicycle tour around Mumbai. I mean, it's a long time ago now, probably 10 years ago. But we went all around the fish markets and all around the markets there, and went across to, is it Elephant Island?
Yes, Elephant Caves, yes.
The Elephant Caves, yeah. So I've got I've got little flashes of memory of Mumbai, Bombay, and the hotel there and everything. But and I read too on your Instagram or maybe your website that you talk about coastal spices. What do you mean by that?
When we talk about coastal spices, it's like, you know, your peppercorn, you know, cardamom, you know, these spices, they grow very well in humid. You know, your cinnamon, then you call your cloves, and then you got your black Elichi, which is like a long black cardamom, and then this tree which leaves the bark as well, so which is scraped out and use it as a flour.
Yeah.
And then there is a dry flour as well, which is called zavitri. Your nutmeg is another spices. So this is the spices. We actually have one of the spices which we call goda masala, which literally translate into sweet spice. So when you actually smell that spice, you activate your sweet notes on your palate. And it's not spice at all. You can use it as a seasoning. You can use it as for anything, any chicken gravy or anything you good. And it's amazing. The fragrance you get is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds so delicious. And okay, so there's what's the Bombay? Oh, it's like a puri. So it's like a little balls, but it's a Bombay special one with this.
The bel puri. Bel puri is what is actually like a street snack.
Yeah.
So it's a puff rice.
Yeah. So is this one of these little?
No,
it's not bad. That's pani puri.
Pani puri, yes.
Yes.
So the Bombay bel puri is basically a puff rice.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So then this is basically what happens is when you go to the beach or something like that, and you feel like snacking something. So bel puri is the best option. You know, you get it's like your dry puff rice, and then you mix it with some of your chiura, which is like which is like a snack. You mix that. You mix your chutneys, your tamarind chutney, mint chutney, whatever you fascinate. You put your save on top of it, you know, which is made from chickpeas, and then that's it. You toss it up, and then you have it. Mix with some fresh coriander, fresh chili. If you want to still jazz it up more, you can add a bit more fresh chilies into it, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Delicious. And I can see there are quite a few fish dishes on here, which probably represents that coastal theme as well. Yeah.
Yes.
And the name, because when I first Googled the name, it came up with a TV show or a film.
Yes, that's right.
But then Meri Jaan means my love or
my
beloved.
love, yes.
So I guess that's about you putting the love into the food.
Correct. Correct. And it's, look, you know, whoever is from Bombay, they would connect with this very easily, because Bombay has always been love, you know, whether you travel there or you love there. See, the thing is, like, say for example, if you live in Dandenong and if you travel to Melbourne every day, you know, you take a train journey, you travel, so you fall in love with all those kind of little things, you know. It's the same thing with Bombay, because Bombay is so busy and there's so much of hustle over there, you know. People love every moment of it. Whether you travel to a place like Bandra, you know, okay. So in Bombay, it's like, you know, there's a specialty. You would say, hey, look, I want to eat this. For example, I want to eat Bombay bhel. So there is a spot you will get one of the best bhels ever. If someone says to you, oh, I want to eat pani puri, they will take you to this spot where you get the best pani puri ever. So these are the little spots of Bombay where people have memories. Like, even someone travels from interstates, even if they're saying, they would just go out and say, oh, this place has amazing pani puri, or this place has amazing bhel puri, you know. So this is where it comes from. My love is like, oh, and obviously there's a lot of love in the food as well. What we do, what we present over here, and then of course it's the emotional connection, most importantly.
Yeah. How are you managing to be an executive chef and to be a co-owner of a restaurant?
Look, this sort of as I told you, you know, I have a chef, or I've roped in Chef Sandeep Rawat to execute the menu and everything over here, and you know, he's absolutely amazing. He's been ex Atta chef, and he was my head chef. Yeah, he was my head chef when I was at Elichi, and then, you know, so he's absolutely phenomenal. So I have roped him in to execute the job, to take care of kitchen parts and operation part of it, and you know, to do it, because his flavors and his tastes are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like, though, I was going to say, you sound like someone who needs challenges, and I know you were saying before we started recording that you were Chef of the Year, AHA Chef of the Year last year.
Last year, yeah, 2024, yes.
Which, congratulations. That's,
thank you. Thank you.
A really great recognition of all the work you've poured into hospitality here. So, do you need those accolades? Are they important for you?
I mean, look, I always believe that, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, really don't have to worry about recognitions, or you don't have to wait for someone to recognize you. I always believe hard work always get recognized. It always comes in whatever shape or form you would say. Last year it came in form of AHA awards, but yeah, I mean, I always believe it's good, because then what happens is like your team really sees up to you. Eventually one or two of my members will be an exec chef one day, and they would want to achieve this accolade. I always believe like that. When you receive something, it's good to have the feather under your belt. But I always believe that I mean, I've always kind of been a person that I always keep on doing my hard work. I don't wait for recognition to come, or because I know eventually your hard work does pays off.
Yeah. Wow, congratulations. Just to get back to the food though, because I did take a sidestep there, what's the best way for people to experience what you want them to here? Do they come in and is it all shared? Is it you work your way through the different sections of the menu? What's the ideal dinner?
So the best way to start is you start with the street snacks, just to experience what it's like to be, or imagine you're going to Bombay for a trip or something like that, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, I feel like I'm a bit hungry, I just want to snack something, but I don't want to eat something full. So snacking is a corner we have, which is called Bombay Streets, from the streets. So we've got a few items over there, which is absolutely amazing. Bale is absolutely outstanding. And then the samosas we do, it's either plain or you can have it into the chaat. Chaat is basically you have it bit of with the chickpea gravy, and then you have your garnishes, your two sauces. So it's bit sort of wet sort of thing, and that's ideally people love it. Another favorite dish is the ragda patties, which is absolutely amazing. It's basically a small potato patty. Comes in with your white chickpea curry gravy, and then again it goes with your tamarind and mint sauce, and it's absolutely delicious, very refreshing. And then there is a place in Mumbai, it's called Muhammad Ali Road. This is the ultimate place you need to go for your food, for all your non-vegetarian items.
Yep.
They do one of the best, Sikh kebabs, your tandoori chickens, your shami kebabs, you name it, and they do it, and it's amazing. And they cook one of the best offals. Like you can get a good liver masala over there, and then you can do they do a good tripe as well, goat tripe as well. So that's the place you need to be if you're in Bombay next time.
Yeah.
So we have few hand-picked dishes over there which we really want to highlight it. And then again, Koliwada. Koli literally means fisherman's village.
Okay.
Yeah. So this literally means from fisherman's village. So this is like the catch of the day, So in Mumbai, what happens is whenever the fisherman goes out with the trawler, and when they come back, so there are local people who are waiting for it, local restaurants. So they know these people. They have their connections. They would say, hey, look, can I get this? Can I get that? And the fish caught 3 o'clock is serving at 12 o'clock. So it's the same concept we have here from Koliwada. So we've got some tandoori prawns, some Bombay fish cutlet, and then Bombay tuna cutlet is my favorite. This is what my auntie, my dad, everyone makes it at home. They absolutely love it. So normally we make it from mackerel, but then over here we do it with mackerel and tuna both. But then with tuna, I find it works very well.
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah. So that's that corner, and then obviously you got your food from the pot. Your classics are there. Your butter chicken is there.
You have to have it, don't you?
You have to. I'm probably at that stage where I'm going to name it as a Melbourne butter chicken. It's become so iconic and so great. So I'm just going to so butter chicken is there as your daily ritual, and then railway lamb curry is one of the best.
Yeah, that does sound delicious.
It's amazing. Yeah. And then your mutton kolhapuri, if you want bit of heat, bit of kick, mutton kolhapuri is the best dish to go. And if you think, okay, well, look, I want to have a bit of experience of everything, thali is the place to go. So in Bombay, thali is quite popular. So you choose what thali you want to have. You want to have vegetarian, you want to have chicken, you have to have a goat, or you want to have a seafood. So you can choose your entrees, and then it comes with your main. And then obviously it accompanied with dal, and it's absolutely value for money.
So good. And is jeera rice, is that particular to Bombay?
The jeera rice is like, every restaurant you go, it's pretty common,
Okay.
People like to have a bit of, I fascinate plain rice.
Yeah.
But then jeera, people prefer sometimes to have a jeera rice. So we just temper a bit of ghee and jeera, and then, we toss some rice into it.
And it's interesting because I used to live down the road actually, and I've been living in Port Melbourne now for 2 years. And Victoria Street's changed even just in the last 2 years, because I was thinking it's always been known as a Vietnamese street.
Yes.
But now it feels as though there's a lot of different foods. So I was thinking, oh gosh, it's bold to have Indian food on this Vietnamese strip. But then I just saw there's a Kurdish restaurant, there's Japanese, there's all kinds of things happening down here. So
Correct.
It's becoming a lot more multicultural, which is great.
Yeah, and look, I believe this is a fantastic addition to Victoria Street because, this street has always been dominated by Vietnamese food, It's absolutely amazing. Like every time when you come to Victoria Street, you just got to choose where to go because they make it so good and it's so nice, But then what we are sort of doing, we are sort of, I would say, a black sheep into the thing, into the stack. But what we are bringing to Victoria Street is, again, as you said, it's multicultural, is a classic example. Because, as you say, like, when you go to Gertrude Street or when you go to Fitzroy Street, they have these options of restaurants. They have Indian, they have Chinese, they have Japanese, you name it, they have amazing pubs. It's the same thing over here now happening. I think it's getting a bit revolutionized because, now you have the Victoria Street was known as a Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh, but now it's sort of changing a little bit. The dynamics are changing.
Yeah.
Down the road there was a Mexican restaurant over there. Next door is Japanese, and then front is a Vietnamese steakhouse. So the things have been changing, and I think that's the beauty of it. You just put another variety on a street.
And just because I asked you a similar question the last time I saw you, I'm sure, but to slightly change my final question, you've had a lot of experience in all kinds of ways now. What would your advice be to your younger self starting out?
I would say slow down. Think, and then make your move. Because when you're young, you're so energetic, so passionate. It just covers yourself. But now I just every moment, everything, and now also it's. I would say, Joe, I always think like if I would be 10 years back, what would I have done or what would I have could do better? So this is the thing I always say, just stop, think, take a deep breath, and then, start all over again. So no need to rush, no need to haste, it's not going anywhere, but, so sometimes you take a hasty decision, sometimes you take, wrong decision, but then my advice would be just take it easy, just think, and then, start again.
Lovely. Yeah. So nice to see you again.
Likewise,
and
Joe.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Punit Ferrnandes at Bombay Meri Jaan in Richmond. You can check out all the goodness on Instagram at Bombay Meri Jaan _Richmond. It's almost as long as my own Instagram handle, but it's Bombay MERIJAAN _Richmond. And if you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm also on Instagram, as mentioned, with quite a long handle, all one word, Conversation with a Chef. You can read this chat online at www.conversationwithachef.com, and of course, follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. I would absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats. It's still the best way to get these delicious stories out into the world. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.